This is not just a story, it's a mirror of life, a reminder of what love truly means. Watch till the very end, the truth will shake your heart. In a small town lived Arjun, a humble man. He wasn't rich, but he had something far greater, a pure heart. He worked as a clerk, earning just enough to pay rent, buy groceries, and sometimes surprise his wife with small gifts. Every morning, before leaving for work, Arjun would prepare tea for his wife Radhika, leaving a handwritten note beside it. "One day, I'll build a better life for us. Just stay with me." Arjun didn't own gold, cars, or big houses. But his world revolved around Radhika, and his greatest treasure was her smile. At first, Radhika appreciated his efforts. But slowly, her heart began to change. Whenever she met her friends, she saw them flaunting diamond rings, expensive saris, and cars. They laughed at their shopping sprees, their vacations abroad, their glittering lives. And every time she came back to her small rented house, she felt the sting of comparison. "Why did I marry Arjun? What has he given me?" she thought bitterly. That's when she met Rajiv. Rajiv was everything Arjun wasn't: wealthy, confident, and living a life of luxury. He drove fancy cars, hosted lavish parties, and knew exactly how to make women feel special with gifts and sweet words. When Rajiv looked at her, Radhika saw the life she dreamed of. One evening, after another argument with Arjun about money, Radhika's frustration boiled over. "Arjun, I'm tired of living like this. Dreams don't buy food, promises don't buy happiness. I want a real life, a good life. And you can't give me that." Arjun's eyes filled with tears. He reached for her hands and whispered, "Radhika, wealth may give you comfort, but it can never give you peace. Please don't leave me. My love is real. Isn't that enough?" But Radhika had already made her choice. That night, she packed her bags and walked away, straight into Rajiv's world. Arjun stood at the doorway, watching the love of his life disappear into the darkness. At first, life with Rajiv was everything Radhika dreamed of: expensive dresses, candlelight dinners, trips to exotic places. She felt like a queen. But soon, the glitter began to fade. Rajiv was not Arjun. He was cold, arrogant, and always busy. He showered her with gifts but never with love. He treated her more like an ornament than a partner. And then came the storm. Rajiv's business suffered huge losses. The parties stopped, the cars were sold, and the so-called friends vanished overnight. One evening, in a fit of anger, Rajiv shouted, "Don't forget, Radhika, without me, you're nothing. You had nothing before me, and you'll have nothing after me." Those words stabbed her like a knife. For the first time, she realized she had traded true love for an empty illusion. Meanwhile, Arjun, while Radhika's world crumbled, Arjun's life slowly transformed. Heartbroken but determined, Arjun drowned himself in work. He stayed late at the office, took on extra projects, and never complained. His honesty and hard work caught the eye of his boss. Within a year, he was promoted. Within 2 years, he managed his own branch. Arjun's name began to spread as a man of integrity and dedication. He was no longer the struggling clerk. He had built the very future he once promised. But one thing never changed: his kindness. Years later, on a rainy night, destiny brought them face to face. Radhika stood outside a grocery store, soaked in rain, holding worn-out bags. Her once beautiful face now carried the marks of regret. A black car stopped nearby. The door opened, and out stepped a man in a neat suit. He walked confidently, his presence commanding respect. It was Arjun. For a moment, Radhika couldn't breathe. The man she had abandoned was now unrecognizable, successful, graceful, yet carrying the same gentle eyes. Their eyes met. Radhika broke down. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "Arjun, I made the worst mistake of my life. I left love for money, and I lost everything. Please forgive me. Arjun stood silently, rain dripping down his hair. His heart ached because somewhere deep inside, he still remembered the love they once shared. But time had changed him. He spoke softly, his voice steady. Radhika, I gave you my heart when I had nothing. But love without loyalty is like a house without a foundation. You chose wealth over love, and that was your destiny. I don't hate you, but I've learned one truth: real love doesn't beg to be chosen. And with those words, he stepped back into his car and drove away, leaving Radhika standing in the rain alone with her choices. Moral of the story: money can buy luxury, but it cannot buy loyalty, respect, or peace. Relationships built on greed collapse, but relationships built on love last a lifetime. Guys, remember one thing in life: never trade true love for temporary luxury, because fate always decides destiny. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe and share with your friends and family.